What's going on? It's another edition of Breakfast with Kevin. I already ate my cereal, getting ready to eat my banana, running a little bit behind this morning, so I'm driving and talking to you. I know, haven't been around for about a week. You guys missed me, blew up my email, blew up comments, letting me know that I didn't put out a video. You know, it was funny, you guys get used to something for a couple of days, and the first day we missed it, a lot of people were reaching out saying, hey, what happened? Well, the past week's just been extremely busy. It's been crazy, all the stuff that's been going on and happening. A lot of things kind of came together last minute and fell into place. And then, you know, of course, we had the Memorial Day weekend, which involves festivities and family events. But, you know, for us last week, we got a couple hard days of selling and packing and having to deal with stuff, and a few late nights. I went on an all-night sourcing trip. So I got out of work, raced around probably about an hour or so around us to multiple Walmarts. They clearanced a lot of their electronics, and what's funny about it is, like, the Walmart that's 10 minutes up the road from my house, their clearance stuff was twice the price of what it was at some of these other stores. Sometimes even more than twice the price. So it made it worthwhile to go to these other Walmart stores to be able to buy this stuff. I apologize if the camera's gonna be a little shaky. I am driving, and I can see the mount that I've got it kind of around the little like arm pole that, you know, sits there at the door. I'm just hoping it doesn't fall completely over. I have to figure out another way to mount that so it doesn't do this, but see if that helps at all while I'm at the light. That maybe it'd be a little weird angle for you guys, but hopefully it doesn't bounce as much. So I hit up all these Walmarts, bought a few $100s worth of when I say a few hundred, I think we almost spent about $1,000. So I say a few hundred, but you know, it was probably $800–900 worth of stuff that I bought that was going to go to Amazon. We decided to list it on Amazon, eBay, and then I put some of the items up on Facebook Marketplace and let go. And we've already sold a bunch of the stuff. One of the routers that we put up went within hours of putting it up on eBay, so that was nice, you know, that it went that quick. Some of the others took a day or two. We've had a lot of interest in a few of the cameras and a couple other things that we had picked up. You know, we picked up quite a few items, and I think the highest priced item was like 40 bucks. So, you know, that tells you the number of items we picked up. However, that meant sourcing all night long at these stores, and then I got back to our office at about like 2 in the morning and started prepping it and listing it, and decided, because Memorial Day weekend was going to come up, timing to get it shipped to Amazon wasn't going to happen, so I listed it as merchant fulfilled, and that's why I also put it on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, was so that we could start generating those sales almost instantly, you know. A few of the items I've decided that, because the sales rank is so good on them, that I'm probably going to package them up later today and ship them into Amazon. You know, and my suspicions were right, because that same night I did pack up a box of stuff to go to Amazon, and while it went to the distribution center that's close to me, that, you know, as soon as I put it in FedEx's hands, it's there the next morning, provided I make their cutoff for pickup that day. So that arrived into the warehouse on Thursday, and Amazon processed it on Friday. I got all the email notifications. They have yet to put any of it into inventory, into sellable inventory. So it's there, it shows it's received, but the available quantity is 0 on each one of them. And that kind of irritates me, because, you know, the holiday weekend went by and it's not available for sale. Now I know what you're thinking, that, you know, there's a lot of people who, with it being a holiday weekend, are out doing things, doing events, going to family functions, whatever. They're not on the computer buying. We saw a huge spike in our eBay sales this weekend, even though everybody says that people are not online buying. So it just, I wish that the items were there. Oh, and an update on the last video we did where Amazon lost a bunch of our stuff. They found it. They still haven't put it back into sellable inventory. But when I go into the inventory rec section of the Amazon Seller Central, I can see in there where now the items have been found. They were sent to a holding account. They're still not posted. The listings have gone from inactive to active, but the available quantity is 0. It's like, what the heck are you doing with my stuff? You know, it doesn't sell if you don't put it out there for people to buy. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm giving them, you know, another day or two. If it doesn't straighten out, I'm gonna have to call Amazon and you know, ask somebody, hey, what is going on with my listings here? But just checking the settings real quick to make sure that you know, I know you're facing the sun, so I'm kind of like shadowed out, but unfortunately that's the path I take to drive. So you know, overall it's just been a crazy weekend. We were hired by a gentleman in another state who purchased a building close to us. It's about half hour north of us. He bought the building kind of sight unseen. He buys distressed properties and fixes them up, and he needed somebody to go in and take some pictures. However, our initial exchange, he thought it was a house, and you know, it was like telling me to get pictures of bedrooms and everything else. When I finally tracked down the keys, I think Friday or Saturday, it was Friday night we tracked down the keys. I find out that it's a commercial office building. It used to be a thrift store at one end, 4 floors, and a lot of junk still inside. The very bottom floor has been filled in from floor to ceiling of like garbage and miscellaneous crap, you know, desks and chairs, and like they just packed it full so that nobody could go down there. The floor above that has tons of storage stuff sitting in it, where they just threw like anything and everything down there. The main floor is a bunch of little offices, so it was a nightmare to go in and get pictures because it's so many little rooms. Tons of desks, refrigerators, furniture pieces. There was a whole maintenance room that was full of like tools and stuff. So I'm hoping that, you know, we talked a little bit. I'm hoping he's going to hire me to clean some of that out, because I could just see dollar sign after dollar sign of the value on the items that were there. But it's just crazy, you know. The place that left there was a non-profit, and they left all this stuff behind. So you go to the very top floor, and there's like 3 gyms, several little classrooms where they did like dance and stuff, and a rec room where there's like pool tables, air hockey tables, all just sitting there. I mean, the pool tables are not, they need to be refelted because they're not in great shape. Looks like, you know, they had like a teen center up there or something, so they kind of got destroyed. But the you know, there's all kinds of stuff still up there that's just like, why'd they leave all this behind? You know, and then Sunday we had like a little family reunion at my parents' house, and we did some stuff. We had a lot of my aunts and uncles who my kids don't get to see that often because they live out of the area. We're all in town, so it was great for my mom to have her brothers and sisters there. You know, she hasn't seen some of them in a long time. Then we went over to a watch fire that they do every Memorial Day weekend here in Syracuse. It's a way to properly retire worn flags and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. And you know, as a veteran, you know, it's got a lot of meaning to me to be there and watch this. And you know, my kids love going. This year it went up really quick. Last year was kind of slow. You got to hang out a little bit, watch it burn. This year there was no doing that. It went really fast and moved out into the crowd very fast. Like the crowd was, you know, trying to get out of there quick so nobody got burned. But you know, that's always an interesting time, and it can also be an aggravating time because some people there don't respect the meaning of it. You know, that I heard somebody make the comment, come on, just light it already. We don't need all this veteran crap. We don't need to hear about all this shit. And sorry, I didn't mean to swear on here. I know it's a family-friendly channel. But that, like, irritated me because, you know, they don't understand what the meaning of that watch fire is. You know, if you can't be respectful, leave. Don't be there. You know, there was, in the group he was with, when they started singing the national anthem, they started belting it out, but they're belting out the wrong words at the wrong time. And it's just like, you know, 10, 15 years ago, the person who I was probably would have walked over and punched him right in the mouth. You know, that's not the person I am anymore. And it really irritated me. Like, how can you just stand there and disrespect everybody and what the event is about? It's not about standing here as a place for you to get drunk and watch a bonfire. You know, there's a reason all those flags were on that pile to burn. And it just irritates me, you know. But, you know, enough about that. That's not what this channel's about. So it's got some construction going on here. Hopefully that building opens soon. But it's all about you know, remembering those that made the ultimate sacrifice for our country there. And, you know, we had a really great time, you know. Paige and Caden were with Kathy and I, and, you know, we just made the evening of it. And then yesterday was yet another beautiful day in Syracuse. Almost a little too hot, but I don't want to say that because, you know, we were complaining a couple weeks ago it was too cold and snow still on the ground. But we took one of the pallets out of our garage. We set up a tent right out in the driveway. We put it up underneath there, and we dug through that bad boy and sorted the entire thing down to the bottom, broke it all down, got it, you know, recycled. And have everything in the storage containers on what we're taking to the sale next week with us. For those of you who didn't catch those other videos, we're taking part in a large parking lot sale. They call it a trunk sale because everybody kind of sells out of the trunk. We've got 2 spaces there. We're going to set up our tables, a bunch of stuff on it, and hopefully make some money. But, you know, so we're sorting out stuff that was going to there, pricing it, taking some stuff that just doesn't make sense to have there, and putting it into containers for us to go through. The list on Amazon, eBay, you know, Facebook Marketplace, all of those type places. But we pulled out. So I've got these black bins. They're kind of like those white postal bins that you can get from the post office. Little containers. I don't know the size of them off the top of my head, but you know, I bought them at Uline, and they're the same material, everything else. That's space age plastic, and we filled 3 of them with nothing but watch bands, fitness bands for like the Apple Watch, the Samsung Watch, you know, all that stuff, all of the Fitbits and everything else. So that's going to be interesting, getting all those listed for sale. I've got another 2 of those bins full of phone cases, tablet cases. It's just crazy stuff that was mixed in with the electronics pallet. A lot of pet training collars, you know, the ones that you can zap the dog on the neck to keep them from going somewhere. We sold one of those a couple weeks ago that came in one of the pet boxes we bought from Upper Valley. I want to say we sold it for like 25-30 bucks. So I'm looking forward to getting these other ones up and listed and hopefully selling around the same price. But you know, that was our weekend. We made a really full day of yesterday's beautiful weather, just being able to clear out a section of the garage. We still have the other pallet that we had started digging through, so we kind of got an idea of what's in it. There's some items in there that we would definitely want to pull out and take to the sale, but now we've got the space that we can go through that one inside the garage, so it doesn't matter what the weather is. But you know, I'm at work, so that's really about all I got for you today. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this, you know, beautiful weather. Hopefully you're having the same type of weather where you're at. I want to make sure you hustlers are getting out there and doing. Hey, you guys thought you were done with me. Nope, not quite yet. So here's the fun thing. I get to work. walk in and realize my work laptop is sitting at the house. So I had to take part in a meeting that I usually have first thing in the morning, beginning of the week. And then now I'm off to go back home to get the laptop. Makes for a really, really not so fun day. So, but hey, you get a few more minutes of me rattling my brain about, rattling my mouth for what my brain wants to say about, oh, sorry about that noise. There's a small train yard behind us and they constantly are moving trains in and out of it. But, whew, it's gonna be a hot day today. It's already 77 degrees, 9:20 in the morning. Just crazy, crazy stuff. So let's make this ride. Let's chat some more. So, you know, I was telling you how Amazon, you know, found our stuff and we're just waiting for them to put it back in inventory. We really didn't go out sourcing much this weekend. Oh, this lady's dancing in the car. She's having a good old time. Must be a good music on or something, right? But, you know, this weekend it wasn't about going out and finding items to sell. It was more about spending some time with the family. You know, Saturday we had some events that were not so pleasant. You know, the weekend prior, Paige's grandmother on her mom's side passed away. We knew it was coming. She's been sick for a little bit and hasn't been going too well. So, you know, Paige was supposed to be up the weekend that she passed away, and on Friday she called me and says, "Dad, can I switch weekends to this weekend," which was, you know, Memorial Day weekend? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that, you know. Oh, fire truck's coming in behind us. Oh, they're stopping. But so, you know, the services were Saturday, so I went down and, you know, spent a little bit of time with her down there at the services, and then headed back home. Went into Walmart and Lowe's while I was down in that area, and because she lives about 40 minutes south of me, and you know, I took a quick peek at like their clearance sales and their electronic stuff, but I really wasn't in there to source anything. You know, I bought some stuff for our yard, some flags and some a nice little statue that goes in the yard, like a little monument. You know, a helmet and boots, kind of a military thing, but it's pretty cool. You know, I haven't seen those in Walmart before, and they're solid stone. So it picked it up, told Paige that it's, you know, an early Father's Day gift she's taken care of. So, but you know, it's a fun little stuff like that. We just had little odds and end projects around the house. You know, we had to go take those pictures Sunday of that warehouse. The place is huge. So, but all kinds of, you know, odds and ends. We just kind of ran all weekend. I have to go check that out in a minute, but just a crazy weekend. You know, a lot of hustling going on as far as getting our stuff prepped and ready. Lots of sales on eBay. We had a handful of sales on Amazon. Some of our steady sellers started selling again. Can't put my finger on the one item why all of a sudden out of the blue it started selling again. You know, it stopped selling for a couple weeks before we, you know, we triggered it as Christmas time, Easter, you know, the different holidays, and the only thing we can figure is it's like a little travel activity thing for kids. And the only thing Kath can figure is maybe that, you know, kick off the summer, people are going to be traveling and they want stuff for their kids to do in the car. But the other item, we tend to see a spike in sales every new college semester. It's a like a 3-ring binder divider that's the alphabet A to Z, and that we usually see huge spikes in sales. And I've got maybe 40. I have to check my inventory. I think I got like 40 of them left, and I can't get them anymore. That was one of the items I bought from a regional clearance store, and I paid $1 a piece for them, and they started selling anywhere between $10 and $15 a set. So definitely make my money on that. You know, after fees, I think I'm getting like, you know, $9-10. I'd have to look up the numbers, get you the exact numbers, but I definitely make a nice profit that, you know, I can afford to sit on them for each college semester. But, I probably have enough to make it through summer and into the fall semester, but I don't think I'll have any more after that, just based on the numbers that we've sold at the main semesters each time. Camera's falling down there. Tried to mount it a little bit different this time. I got one of those Joby Gorilla Pods that's on the camera, so I kind of tried to wrap it a different way that I thought would give it, you know, support from 3 different sides, but apparently it still found a way to flop down a little, you know. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit of a shake and vibration as we drive, but you know, it's the sales that we're hitting on eBay were just all over the place. Odds and ends, no consistency into what items sold versus what items didn't sell. A little bit of everything. That quilt cutter, that AccuQuilt cutting board that you know, we picked up at a thrift store for like $10-11 a month ago. I finally got it listed maybe 2 weeks ago. I just hadn't gotten around to listing it, and that sold at full value. We sold it for $180 plus shipping. So, you know, those are the nice sales. Those are the ones that are like, yeah, I wish I could do that one every day, would make that much profit. But you know, that was a rare find. I saw it and something said, hey, look at me a little bit further. And a lot of that was, my mother was always into that stuff as we grew up. Craft stuff and, oh, excuse me, the various items with it. So right away I knew that there had to be something a little bit more to it. It was kind of heavy duty, a little bit more sturdier than, you know, a chintzy $10 craft item. So whip out the phone, look it up, and we're like, yep, I'm buying that baby. So it's, you know, that's one thing, you know, you've heard me say it before, don't be afraid to pull out your phone and check something. You know, you won't be the only one in the thrift store looking something up. So what I love is when you're in the thrift store and you hear a cha-ching from eBay and you watch like 10 people pull out their phones. Everybody's trying to see who the sale is. That's one way to see who the reseller is just get the sound file on your phone and sit there and play it and watch who pulls out their phone. But you know, it's not bad. Getting through that one pallet was nice. Gives us a little bit more room to get through that second pallet. So we've already been selling quite a bit of stuff from them. You know, we kind of cherry picked some of the stuff off the top, dug down a little bit over the last few weeks, pulled some items out to sell, and they've been selling. We were able to pull out of the one box yesterday a jawbone up. So I'm probably going to keep that because I've been looking around at Fitbits. I've had a couple over the years, and somehow they've gotten lost in moving and everything else. But the jawbone was in there. It was an open package. It's missing the charger, but I can easily find an aftermarket one or a third-party one. So I want to get it charged up, make sure it works. I was looking at a couple Fitbits that were on sale. They're clearance to Walmart. There's a Walmart near me that claims that they have 2 of them in stock, but I've been to the store, they can't find them. They don't know where they're at. Probably got stolen or something, but they have them marked down to like $15. So that's one thing, you know, if you're shopping at Walmart out there, they put their pricing and their store inventory online. check other stores around you. You know, we have 2 stores that are, actually 3 stores within 15 minutes of us. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 Walmarts within 15 minutes of my house. That is crazy. 5 Walmarts within 15 minutes. You know, if I branch that out to a half hour, I probably got another 2, 3, probably 3 or 4 more that I could add to that within a half hour. That's just crazy to have that many Walmarts near you. But pricing is all over the place between them. Most people don't look at it. They just go to the shelf and they buy it because they need it. And I like finding out, and we're not talking, you know, okay, it's $1 difference. We're talking like half the price difference. It's crazy. There's a site that I use that shows me deals that are at Walmart and Target and across the country. And I was laughing because last week I was looking, and in California there was like 10 Walmarts that clearanced air conditioners down to $5. $5. That same exact model air conditioner at my local Walmart, the one that's like 5 minutes up the road from my house, was $179. How can you sell that air conditioner in one store for $179 and sell it in 10 others for $5? Now, none of those stores showed any inventory because I'm sure at $5 they went quick. That's just like a dream of anybody living in a hot climate like that to have an air conditioner for $5, brand new. You know, that's just crazy that they would even do that. So maybe they wanted the shelf space back or something. You know, maybe they were a year-old model and they just wanted them gone. You know, they made enough money selling them at $179 to suckers like me. But so don't be afraid to price shop it around and see what store in your area has the best price, you know, because the more profit you can make, the better. A lot of these people who are buying the stuff that you can commonly walk into Walmart and buy don't have a Walmart near them. They don't have 5 Walmarts in 15 minutes. You know, their closest Walmart might be an hour and a half or 2 hours away. So they would much rather go on Amazon, order something, or eBay and order something and have it delivered to their door. Or maybe they work, you know, insane hours and they don't have time to go shopping. It's not the fact that, you know, they have to be within the store hours, because a lot of your Walmarts are open 24 hours, but it's you know, they work, you know, 90 hours a week, so they don't have that time to be able to go into the store and shop. So people love places like Amazon and these grocery delivery services and everything else that will bring it to you, bring it to your doorstep. So, but so I'm almost back to the house. Any of you suckers that are in the local Syracuse area and know the path that I just drove, don't be showing up at my doorstep. No, honestly, if you guys want to track me down and find me, I don't care. It's fine by me. But you know, I've run into a few of you guys in different stores in the area, and been out in my daily travels and had people, and had some really great conversations. You know, last week I met a guy in a Walmart that's a good half hour, 40 minutes from me, when I was out sourcing, and he was standing at the electronics clearance aisle kind of looking some stuff up. I took a peek what he had in his cart, and I pegged him right away as being a reseller, and I'm like, what platforms do you sell on? And the guy was hesitant for a minute. You know, he didn't know who I was, and so I started telling him what I do, and it sparked up a great conversation, and, you know, connected with him, and we're going to meet up and go over some stuff. Him and his brother just started. His brother's in New Hampshire, he's here in New York. So a lot of times when they find something, his brother looks for it up there because they don't have sales tax to pay. And I told him, you know, if you get a reseller certificate here in New York State, you don't have to pay the sales tax. But, you know, they just got started maybe a month or 2 ago. His brother's been doing it a little bit longer than he has. But, so he was, you know, thankful for the information, wanted to know. He's like, you showed up with a list already written out of what you wanted. He's like, how do you know? So I was kind of telling them, you can go to Walmart's website or you can download the Walmart app. It'll show you what they have in stock. Now, is it 100% accurate? No. You know, like I brought up, that one store shows they have 2 of these Fitbits in stock, and they really don't have any. So, and the one guy told me, he goes, we ain't got any. We haven't had any in months. He goes, that's a discontinued model. And he goes, we definitely never had it at that price. So, but for some reason, their inventory still reports 2 of them on the book, so the computer lowers the price down. But, all right, I'm going to run in here, grab my laptop. I'll be right back with you guys shortly. All right, I'm back. Did you miss me? So, you know, as I was saying, that don't be afraid to price shop. Don't be afraid to look around at those things and find the best price. You know, where else are you struggling? What can I help you with from our experiences over time? You know, I think I find a lot of value personally in giving back and teaching others. You know, and some people say you're crazy, you know, that you're giving your stuff away to your competition. No, I welcome the competition, because we all look for different things. We all have different niches that we go after, and we search for things. You know, some of us might be looking for electronics. Some of us might be looking for clothes. Some of us might be looking for knickknacks, or, you know, collectibles or whatnot. You know, there's a guy that runs a group here local. I talked about it on one of the videos last week, who does a lot of the estate sales, does some of the same sourcing spots that I go to, but he's looking for completely different items that I'm looking for. So when, you know, we chatted and talked about the different things, he knows what I'm looking for, I know what he's looking for. I see something, I mentioned to him, and vice versa. You know, you help one another out there. You're basically another set of eyes for that other person while you're out there. Crazy. The guy parked right at the light. You know, granted, you're working on that house, but man, you can't park right at the light like that. That's crazy. So it helps having those people out there, and trust me, there's a lot of people that get into this game that want to do this reselling thing. They do not realize the amount of work involved in it, and they're quickly out of the game. You know, if they're not seeing instant profits, they're not seeing that quick return on investment. You know, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're gonna bust your butt to make the decent profits. And you know, sometimes you're gonna buy things that you thought were a good deal, and you don't make money, but you make up for it on other items. You know, it's one of the biggest areas people struggle is they buy blindly. They don't do the research. You know, and sometimes you do research, but you don't do 100% research because you're at a garage sale, or you have to make that quick decision. You're looking at an item and you realize the item you looked up might be a different model, or you might not have all the pieces and parts. You might not have everything that you need to get that full value. The condition might not be the same. You know, there's 100 different variables that go into that could cause it so that the items aren't all two apples to apples. You know, you might have an apple to a pear, or an apple to an orange, or a combo fruit deal. But you know, it's I've seen a lot of people locally who I've tried to coach and help that are looking for that quick buck. They want to buy something and sell it, and then in 2 weeks, if they're still sitting on it, they mark it down to next to nothing below what their cost was, just to try and recoup that money so they can go buy something else. And it's like, stop. Not everything sells overnight. It's not the Amazon 2-day shipping, you know, freaking mentality. Sometimes you have to wait for the right buyer to come along. You know, I've got stuff that I've sat on for months that I know I'm going to hang on to it because the right buyer will be there at some point. You know, I have a book that we've had quite a few offers of the book. They're lowball offers. The book sells probably 2 to 3 times a year. year at value of where it's rated. It's rated for, like, you know, about $300 is the last couple times it sold. A couple years ago, it sold for over $1,000. But the sheer fact of knowing that it only sells a couple times a year at that price, I'll wait. You know, we have it up for like $289 or $299 or something. And I've gotten lowball offers of like $10, $20. If I wanted to get rid of the book, I could have had it gone already. I paid $1 for it. I could sell it at $20 and still make a profit. But it's a book. It's sitting on a shelf, not really taking up that much space. I'd rather sit and wait for that right buyer to come along. Now, you know, if it sits there for 2-3 years, yeah, I might have to say, all right, somebody give me $20 for it. But I don't think it'll sit that long. You know, there's a handful of sellers on the listings, both on Amazon and have eBay auctions for the same book. So it's very relatively low competition out there on it, and we're one of the ones that are at the lower price. So, you know, we'll be one of the ones that sell fast. There's some people have theirs priced at $1,000. I'm sorry, but that book hasn't sold at $1,000 in a couple of years. You're not going to get $1,000 for it unless somebody's, you know, all of a sudden falls into the lottery winnings or something, and, you know, wants to waste some money. But I think they'll still be smart about it and buy the $300 one before they bought the $1,000. So, you know, so it's finding the right type of buyer for your thing and waiting for that right buyer to come along. You know, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire overnight and do no work. Because let me tell you, you're going to work. You're going to sweat a little. You know, some days you'll feel like you're underpaid because you've done all this work, and then it pays off. Like, you know, Sunday we were at, Sunday. Sorry, long weekend. I can't remember what day of the week it is today. Sunday I was at that little family reunion picnic thing at my parents' house, and while we were there, we probably sold a couple $100 worth of stuff. We didn't do any work that day, yet the profits came in, you know, so that pays off for those days that you work really hard and only sell a couple of items. So, you know, it's a give and take type scenario. And some people can't get that in their head. They want to be paid instantly for the work that they do. And being a reseller or a flipper or whatever you want to call this thing doesn't always give you that instant payback. So, you know, what are some good sales you guys had? What are some of the items that you've sold that you've made huge profit on? Leave it in the comments below. Share it with, you know, some others that are on here. You know, reach out to me. You know, post it to our Facebook group. Post it to our Instagram account. Something. Let us know. You know, the type of things you're looking for. What successes you've had. What failures have you had? And failures is a positive thing. I don't use failures as a negative thing like a lot of entrepreneurs use. Man, they're doing construction everywhere. This was not here a little bit ago. It would have been crazy if this was here a little bit ago, because it would have been rush hour traffic. But a lot of entrepreneurs dwell in that failure. They don't look at it as a positive thing. You got to learn from it and grow, or you will never, ever, ever be successful if you just sit there and dwell. Everybody makes mistakes. That's how we learn. That's how we get better. It's the actions you take after that is what sets you up for success. But you know, so it's let's hear from you. What kinds of things? Where are you struggling? What do you need help with? Where can I? Whoa! I knew that was gonna happen. Woo! That was a lot of fun, huh, guys? Yeah, hit that bump, and I knew that was gonna go, but unfortunately, I was in an area where I couldn't grab it, and I couldn't get it to, you know, flip back up easily. I had to, you know, make my next turn and then kind of pull over on the side of the road a little bit so that I could fix the camera. But you know, I'm almost back to work, so let me hear from you guys. You know, if you find value in these videos we put out, please give us the thumbs up. Let YouTube, let others know we're doing a really great job. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to our channel. Doesn't cost you anything. You click that little button, you know, and then we show up in your feed on YouTube. If you want to get notifications from YouTube, they'll push notifications to your computer, they'll push notifications to your phone. When we go live or when we produce new content, click that little bell icon. It's right next to the subscribe button, and YouTube will send out a notification. Now, we have heard from some people that they don't always send out a notification. You know, I've got one friend of mine who several times when we've gone live, he's like, man, I've missed it because he didn't get the notification from YouTube. So, you know, I'm not sure why he's not getting the notifications, but if others are not getting them, I'd love to hear from you. But, you know, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, wherever. You know, we hang out a lot in Blake's 0 to 10K group. We hang out a lot in the green room. If you're not a member of Green Room University, trust me, it's well worth the money. Lots of training that are in there, especially if you're somebody new starting out or you want to try some new niche, like, you know, gaming systems or bags or clothing, or they got all kinds of guides in there. But for me, the biggest value comes out of that Facebook group that they have, where you can pop a question in and ask people back and forth. So worth it. I pay for the year in advance. You know, they have a monthly payment option. I'll put a link down below in the comments or in the description of this video that, you know, if you wouldn't mind, if you're going to sign up for the green room, use our link. We get a couple bucks for sending people over there, and that helps offset, you know, our equipment costs for making these videos and doing stuff. You know, from time to time we do post affiliate links where we make a couple bucks. All of that money goes into a separate account, and we use that for funding the educational stuff we do. You know, we're working on a couple ebooks that we don't plan on charging for, but we want to give them away to our community of watchers and everything else. And unfortunately, you know, those type of things do cost us money. So it's by having people click on our links when, you know, we talk about some of the software we use and everything else, you know, they all throw us a buck or two when a sale's completed. We don't get paid just for somebody clicking on it. They actually have to purchase. But it helps fund those type things, and we love to give back, but you know, we can only afford to give back so much before it takes food off our table, you know. But so it's share this with anybody you know, your friends, family, anybody that you think might find value in it. You know, we're members of a few other groups on Facebook, but we're not very active in those groups. There's a couple others that from time to time I'll post something, or I'll go in and comment on somebody's post, and but usually you can count on us being in the green room or the 0 to 10K group that Blake Walter, he's got a YouTube channel. He's a little bit of crazy high-strung guy. I kind of like him. Looking forward to meeting him someday in person. You know, he cracks me up. Love his warehouse. It's always stuff everywhere, but you know, he's a great guy. I'll throw a link to him up there too. So show the love, go out there, you know, watch some of his stuff if you're not already a subscriber to his stuff. But you know, let me hear from you guys. What's going on in your world? What's going on in your realm? How can we help grow your business, take you to the next level? Man, it's a bumpy road. I remember being this bumpy a little bit ago when we came down it. Alrighty guys, get out there and go do